Hey, I'm John Bollinger with Premier Guitar. Today we're doing a review demo of the Peavey ValveKing 20-watt combo amp. The ValveKing is an EL84 driven 112 combo with 2 foot switchable channels, independent EQ for each channel, and several surprisingly versatile features, including a vari-class knob that simulates a blend of Class A and AB tube operations, a dampening control that adds presence and resonance, a microphone simulated direct interface XLR output with ground lift and speaker mute, a buffered effects loop, a USB direct recording output, foot switchable reverb, boost, and effects loop, and a switch for lowering power from 20 watts to 5 watts or 1 watt. Before I tell you more about this amp, let me tell you about everything else in the signal chain. I'm playing my stock PRS Starla. I've had this guitar about 5 years or so, 4 years, I don't know, something like that. About 4 or 5 year old guitar, all stock. I'm running directly into the Peavey, but I'm utilizing the effects loop out with a Ibanez echo shifter just to show you how the effects loop works. In addition to that, I'm micing it with a Royer R21 ribbon mic, and then I'm running a direct XLR out of the back of the amp to demonstrate how their mic simulation XLR works. We're running all that into a Apogee Quartet, and that's going into Pro Tools. So that's the whole thing. A little complicated, but there's a lot going on with this amp, and we're going to explain it all. So when we came in on the head of this video, I was plugged into the clean channel, and it's completely flat, as you can see. And I was utilizing the effects loop using this Ibanez Echo. In addition to that, the dampening and vari-class are both in the middle. The wattage is set on 20, and the reverb is on about 4. So let me show you in the clean channel at 20 watts with the effects loop off. This is what it sounds like. Now, what if I want a little more grit to that? Okay, so I can switch it over here from, I'm at 1 watt or 20 watts. Here it is on 5. But now I can goose this up a little bit more. It's a clean channel, but now I get a little more grit to it. So. Now let's drop it all the way down to 1 watt. Okay, that should be. And then goose that. So that enables me to turn the clean channel all the way up and get some distortion, kind of like, sound like a deluxe cranked all the way up, but it's really very quiet. Here in the room, it's about as loud as, I don't know, it's a very comfortable level. So you're not gonna have your neighbors complaining about that one. Okay, let's talk about some of the other features of the amp. Channel switching, for instance. We've gone through the clean channel, tried that on all the wattage. Let's now try the dirty channel. So that's clean. Clean, I've switched it back to 20 watts. Now let's try the dirty channel. Now right now, I've got, I've got everything flat except for the treble is a little bit down. That's just a personal taste. I tend to run on my dirt channels, my treble down. So anyway, season to taste, but this is what it is on the dirty channel. Now let's try it with the gain switch pushed on that channel. See what it changes to. That's gain switch on, here's gain switch off. It sounds to me like when you put the gain, when you engage the gain switch, you get kind of a high-end boost, which, here it is. Gain off, gain on. Makes it very alive, very very big, kind of compressed. I like it. Okay, here's gain off. Now let's try it with the boost on. Okay, here's boost off, boost on. See, that does give you a nice little bump for a solo. And all these can be controlled by a foot pedal, which I didn't set up, but so you can control your boost and channel switching like that as well. Okay, now let's kind of run through the dirty channel a little bit more. I'll try it with different wattage, and I'll try just boosting the gain right up. So here I'm putting the, let's put the gain, oops, sorry. Yeah, the gain all the way up. Let's try gain, the gain switch along with that and the boost. So gain's all the way up, and the gain switch and the boost switch are all. Again, I feel a little more, I hear a little more high end when that gain is in there that I'm not crazy about. It sounds great, but I think I prefer it with the gain switch off. Now, as a little taste test, let's try comparing the the XLR Direct mic simulation and the Royer mic. So I'll try this both in the dirty channel and the clean channel. So this will be, right now we've been running a combination of the Royer and the XLR amp simulator or mic simulator, but let's try just the microphone right now. So here we are on the dirty setting. So that's the mic. Now here's the dirty setting with just the mic simulator, XLR Direct out. Let's do the same thing on the clean channel. So that's the mic right there. Now let's do the same riff with the mic simulator on the clean channel. So that's the mic simulator. When we were messing around with this, I really did like the sound of both of them combined. It seemed like the mic brought in some kind of warmer characteristics, but that pristine direct signal is pretty great to mess with as well. And it gives you the option of affecting them differently in post. Say you could, I don't know, add different verbs or whatever to each signal. and just gives you more options. You could actually run that direct and even re-mic it if you want, or send it out through it, reamp it. So it gives you a lot of options on that end. Now let's get into two other very cool features of this amp. It's the dampening control and the vary class. The dampening control controls presence and resonance at the same time. So let's kind of show how it works. Right now we're right in the middle, but I'm going to bring it over to tight. So that's tight. This is all the way over to loose. So. So I prefer it there on the loose side of things. I mean, they're both cool, but to me the tight gets a little thinner, which I'm not as crazy about. But dead center, very cool. All the way over here, pretty. Actually, I think it's my favorite. So there we go. Okay, so let's talk about the vary class. What this does, it gives you. It's simulating the difference between a Class A amp and a Class AB amp. Right now, I'm right in the middle. Sounds like that. That's in the clean channel, completely flat. Dampening is up. Let me put dampening in the middle just for the sake of it. So that's in between. Now let's put it on Class A. Yeah, that sounds more Class A. I get it. To me, it gets a little more mid-rangey, a little more aggressive. I guess it's a more aggressive tone. Let's try rolling it all over to AB. Now let's try it on the dirty channel. Let's see what the difference is like. Here we go. So that's AB. Here it is over on A. They're both cool. It's cool options. So the ValveKing has a buffered effects loop, which I really like. Tube amps, when you run pedals in front of them, they can get pretty messy, particularly delays and things like that. But in the effects loop, it's such a pristine way of approaching effects. So here it is, okay, without the effects loop engaged, and here it is with it engaged. So it's a pretty dreamy signal, a great option to have. A lot of amps have effects loop. Most of us don't use them because it's a little bit of a hassle running those extra cables, but it's definitely worth it on something like this. There's some other great little features of this amp. Along with the XLR mic simulation, you also have a USB direct recording output. So you can run USB directly to your computer for recording, which is about as clean a signal as you're going to get. I also like the fact there's a separate EQ for each the dirty and the clean channel. When you have a single EQ and you're jumping between channels, what works on one rarely works on the other. So it's great that they give you this kind of option. Let me just show you a little bit. For instance, okay, we're in clean right now. We're completely flat, and I like it like that. Now, dirty. Right now, as I told you, the treble's down a little bit. If we ran it completely flat, it gets a little harsh. So it's great to have that option. In fact, what I would probably do is run that way down and try punching up the mids a little. So a great option having the separate EQs, because your tones probably shouldn't be the same. Or maybe that's not the way to put it, but you're not going to get the same tone with different settings like that. So it's great you can tailor them accordingly and just switch with the foot switch. Let me show you a little bit about the reverb in this bad boy. So right now I'm at, looks like a solid 3. But let's really dime this guy up there, put it at 5. I like it. Sounds reverby. Let's go 3/4 of the way up on 8. Now let's go all the way up. That's a good sounding verb. Great to have that in the arsenal. In addition to this, the amp also gives you 2 outputs for speakers, and you can vary the ohmage to make just about any combination work. So that's the whole enchilada. Go to premierguitar.com to read the written review, and while you're at it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's all kinds of cool things on there. Review demos, rig rundowns, etc., etc. So please tune in. So this is John Bollinger. Thanks very much. See you next time.